Hey everyone, just a quick ask before we get into the newscast. If you really like Wake Up, I would love it if you gave us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and drop a quick comment there to let people know about this newscast. It would really help people discover us. All right, on with the news. Wake up, Cincinnati. I'm Matt Piken, here to close out your week with this local newscast for Friday, February 6th. Cincinnati City Council has approved updates to its budget reserve and carryover spending policy, solidifying how the city manages leftover funds. The revised waterfall structure now sets 17% of operating revenue as the baseline reserve level and creates new funding buckets for special events, infrastructure, and housing development. Of the $42 million in surplus from fiscal year 2025, $16.5 million will cover firefighter back pay, union contracts, and public safety needs. A motion to base reserves on expenditures instead of revenue failed but may return for future discussion. You could read more about this at WVXU. The Corporation for Findlay Market has purchased a newly renovated co-working building just steps from the market, aiming to support small businesses and market vendors. The nonprofit acquired the 20,000 square foot building at 132 West Elder Street for $6.5 million after Columbus-based Cohatch ceased operations there last week. Originally built in 1875, the structure includes 28 offices, 6 meeting rooms, and event space. CEO Kelly Lancer says the acquisition ensures the site will continue to benefit the Findlay market community. Leadership is now assessing how best to use the space. Read more about this in the Cincinnati Business Courier. Now to a couple of stories with a big ick factor. A Covington pastor has pleaded guilty to sexually abusing a teenage girl in his church office. Jose Luis Lopez Hernandez, 52 years old, yesterday admitted to first-degree sexual abuse in Kenton County Circuit Court. Prosecutors are recommending a 2-year prison sentence and 20 years on the sex offender registry. The abuse occurred in 2023 at Ministerio Jesus Liberta Church and was reported anonymously to Kentucky's Child Welfare Agency. Lopez Hernandez fled to California but was later arrested by the FBI. He is scheduled for sentencing on March 9th. You can read more about this in the Inquirer. Now to the second ick story. A former Xavier University director has been charged with voyeurism after allegedly recording a student without their consent. Court records state 46-year-old Samuel Terry was arrested Wednesday after a student reported finding a hidden camera in his office on December 6th. The student had been in their underwear when the device was discovered. Investigators later confirmed the student had been unknowingly filmed the previous day. Terry was placed on administrative leave during the investigation and later terminated. He remains in the Hamilton County Detention Center pending arraignment. You can also read more about this in the Inquirer. And to end on something a little more upbeat, Hamilton County is giving Bengals fans a rare chance to own a piece of Paycor Stadium. As part of ongoing stadium upgrades, select furnishings like branded bar stools, padded seats, beer taps, and mini fridges are now up for auction. County Administrator Jeff Alawato says the auction focuses on the most desirable items featuring team logos or stadium character. Bidding is open online and in person starting 10 a.m. February 14th. Commission President Stephanie Summerow-Dumas called it a win-win that may return funds to taxpayers. Read more about this at WVXU. Our free newsletter is a quick local news digest, essentially this newscast in written form. Subscribe at wakeupcincy.transistor.fm. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at wakeupcincy. And please share this podcast with your friends who care about this city. I'm Matt Piken. Thanks so much for starting your weekdays with Wake Up Cincinnati.